Hello everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, my name's Samantha. I go by Thrifty on a Dime on all social media platforms, and on my page, I talk about all kinds of ways to make money, whether you're looking for part-time, full-time, or just for extra cash, as well as positivity and motivation over on my Instagram page pretty much daily. So be sure you go check me out over there as well. And if you are new, please be sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon. It does let you know when I release new content, and I have so much that I'll be putting out soon for you guys. So this is actually going to be the second video in my Poshmark series, which is going to be giving you guys Poshmark 101, the start to finish Poshmark, all things Poshmark tips and tricks, starting for beginners, listing, all that good stuff. So this one actually is going to be focused on just listing strictly, but the prior video is how to start Poshmark for beginners. So be sure you do go check out that video and let me know if you have any comments or questions. I answer quicker over on Instagram, so be sure you do go follow me over there as well. But for this video, if you want to speed up a little bit and actually just watch how a listing is made from start to finish, I will be doing that in the second half. The beginning half of this video, I want to show you guys tips and tricks on how to make it faster, the process faster, before you actually take the photos to get ready to do the listing. So again, you can just speed up halfway through if you only want to see me list an item. If not, let me go ahead and get started on my first tip with you guys. I know some of these might be obvious to us, but we might not implement them into our routine. So I just want to kind of share my tips and what I do, and maybe you can implement them into your Poshmark business, or if you're just starting out, hopefully this helps you before you actually get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is figure out the photo setup. So you're going to figure out ahead of time, where do you actually want to go take these pictures? Do you know exactly what you're going to be picturing? Are you going to be picturing hard goods, clothing, makeup? What are you actually going to be picturing, and where is the location you want to set it up? So I am doing my video right here in the corner by my office area, and the reason being is it's very bright in this room. There's lots of windows that you can't see over here, and there is one behind me, but it's great lighting, especially for the time of day that I'm actually taking the video, which kind of leads me into the next one. Is the time of day that you're actually taking the photo is important. So you want to plan ahead before you actually take the photos. What is a good time of day if you need to use natural lighting? Are you going to use a photo setup as far as a lighting kit? If so, then you don't really have to worry about the time frame on when you're going to take them. But if not, if you're using natural lighting, the indirect sunlight is the best time to take your photos. So between 10 and noon usually, and 3 and 6, just because that's going to give you the most indirect sunlight. And it also just depends where you're at in the world, as well as what time of the world or what time of the year it is as far as winter or summer. So time frames will vary. Just know you don't want to take pictures in direct sunlight because it's going to change and wash out your item. So I just touched on this a bit, but are you using natural lighting or a lighting setup? If you're using a lighting setup, get that setup ready ahead of time. You know the area now, you know what you're taking, you know what you're about to take pictures of, and get that lighting kit set up. So practice a little bit. If you know this is how you want your photos a flat lay or whatever, have your lighting kit set up to where it's ready for a flat lay. Have it all set up if possible, so that you can shave off a few minutes of prepping for your photos when you're ready. So you kind of figured out the lighting setup, where you want to take your pictures and what kind of pictures you're taking as far as items, but you also want to make sure you're prepping the item. Make sure the item's ready to be listed. Is it clean? Is it wrinkle-free? Do you need to do any work? Do you need to polish it? What do you need to do to get it photo ready? Do that the day before or ahead of time so that the listing process is much faster. Okay, you've prepped the item, you've prepped the area you want to take the item, you know what time of the day you're going to do it, so you're ready to go. Keep the items in the order that you actually want to take the photos, and as you take the photos, keep them in the order that you want to list them. I know it sounds super confusing, but basically, take the picture of the item, sit it next to you. then the next item next to that, and so on, so that when you're ready to list, these will be in order of the pictures that you just took. So it's not confusing and you're like, this item's all the way at the beginning of my pictures, and stuff like that. So it's just gonna be much more efficient if you keep the items in the same order that you take the pictures. Something I also do so that I don't confuse myself, and it kind of just speeds up the process just a little bit more for me as well, is after I list the item, I will actually go in and delete them from pictures so that when I go back to Poshmark to list the next item, the pictures that I pull up are the next item that I had pictured, so that it's not the old item that was already pictured prior, if that makes any sense. I know it was super confusing, but this is just a time-saving tip for me so that I don't have to scroll through all those photos once I've listed all the pictures that are prior to the one I want to list next. So this down the road will shave off just a few seconds. And if you're familiar with being a reseller, any amount of time that you can save during your reselling business is gonna make you more money. So for me personally, just keeping all the items in order, taking them in pictures in order, and then as I list them, removing those photos so that they're not on my phone, is gonna be much faster for me. And if you don't wanna actually delete them permanently, create an album. So then you can actually select them in the album and delete them only from the album and not your phone completely.
Creating a Poshmark listing is pretty simple. This is the desktop version. You just click the sell an item at the top right there. And then what I like to do is pull up my pictures and then I just select them all and drag and drop them. But you can also click to add your photos by clicking that gray box that you see right at the top. And then what you're going to do is add a title, and then I just copy the title and paste it right into the description down below. As of recently, I started adding measurements again just to kind of stop all the questions about measurements, and I also bag them so I don't want to have to pull them out and measure them after I've already had them bagged and put away in inventory. Also, when selecting a category, I don't usually select a subcategory. I just want to show up in more people's results, so I just keep it more broad rather than narrowing down the search. You can choose whichever way you want. Then you're going to select size, and I don't usually do the new with tags button, only if it is new with tags. And then I insert the brand. It's always a good idea to put brand even if it's not in the data bank. I don't usually ever put color. And then the original pricing, since I don't really know the original price, I always put 0. And if you ever want to add any other details, you can click the show details button, and in here you can add inventory number, how much you paid for it, anything like that into that, and nobody else can see it but you.
Oh, hey guys, now that I'm back on camera, I want to share a few more tips before I leave you. I copy my title and I insert it into the descriptions for a few reasons, but the main reason is that it's for SEO ranking, and I heard a while back that it gives Google more keywords to pull from in searches, thus it provides a higher ranking for anyone who searches for your item. So if you're using good keywords and you copy it from the title and you copy it into the description, it's just going to give Google, someone who's actually put more words for the same keywords that you're searching. So it's very important to lead into better keywords. When you're listing your items, you want good keywords. I actually just had a recent item sell when I relisted it with just better keywords. And this was because there was somebody actually Googling the exact brand, exact style, and that size. So if you are using better keywords in your title and description, copying it into the description, there you go. That's gonna give Google more words to pull from for the search that person's looking for. If you're curious if somebody's bought from you using Google or that wasn't on Poshmark already, be sure you go over to my Instagram, because I actually have a reel where I showed you can actually check to see if somebody's created a Poshmark just to buy your item, which I thought was pretty cool. And it was a tip that a lot of people didn't know. So yeah, be sure to go check my Instagram. It's Thrifty on a Dime if you haven't already. Okay guys, that about wraps it up for me for creating a Poshmark listing from start to finish. I added in a few more tips for you guys, but I also have more videos coming out soon that'll have better tips for you, because I really wanted to focus this video on creating a better listing flow and getting items listed faster. So if you haven't already, be sure you like this video, you subscribe, hit that little bell icon, and until my next video, go check me out over on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.